This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everyone. So, in today's class, I'm going to teach you some more tools which are available over here and how it is going to be used, and some of the shortcuts and mm, which are used on day-to-day basis. All those things I'll be teaching you today. So, see, I will have to complete all these tools till here, and then only I will be able to teach you how to compose a sheet, how to render a plan, and things like that, so that it will be helpful for you for uh, architectural design submission, or when you want to present something for the client, etc. So till then you'll have to bear with this in introduction classes, and it is very important for you to know all these tools very well. Apart from that, there'll be so many other commands also which I'll introduce here. In these, you know, uh, these are another two important menus which I will be teaching little bit, and then rest of it is like you can explore on your own and work on it. Okay, so that much will be enough for you as an architect. What you should do to present, to give a impressive presentation. I don't think anything more is required. If time permits, I'll be showing some sheets which are submitted by the students, and some your seniors and some other students who have sent the portfolio to the offices, and how they have done their sheets, how probably they would have done it in Photoshop. That will I'm planning for that, but it depends on time permit, how much of a time I have, um, and I can just upload it in YouTube so that you can refer it into in future also when you want to present a portfolio. What are all the tricks that can be used to give an impressive look? So those things I will teach you later. Okay. Now, yesterday, I think I stopped here with quick selection tool and magic wand. Only this much in one, these two are covered. The rest all still remain the same. But mm, these um, these tools are extremely important, and only with that you can work on Photoshop. Okay. Now, having said that, I want to tell you few problems that you might face while you are working in Photoshop. That also I wanted to teach you. Even though this is a second class, I suddenly remembered about that. I thought I'll teach you. So, okay. One is this might go missing. You don't see this. Sorry, it'll be like this, or sometimes you will find Photoshop like this. Very funny, isn't it? There's nothing other than the image, and you call it Adobe Photoshop. This might also happen to you. So you'll be wondering, what is this? What shall I do with this? When I open Photoshop and when I open the image, still I see only this image. I don't see anything else. What shall I do? So it's a simple. Hmm, it can happen typically in a lab where many students work, and you don't know what they have done previously. So how will you save yourself from this situation? Okay, so that is what I wanted to teach you now. Okay, so if you find seeing having only one image and I don't see any menu, so what you do, you press F and you press one more F, you will get majority of it. If you keep pressing F again, it will change into three different mode. One is full screen mode. F stands for full screen. Please take a note of it. If you press one more F, it will show the option bar. One more F. Okay, it doesn't show the name of the um, file which is open now. So these are the three full screen modes available. Okay, okay, and then R. Control R is for ruler. Ruler is nothing but the measurement of this image. Okay, size of this image is what is shown in ruler. So you have to see what unit it is. If you right click, it will say it is in pixel. You want to see how much. See, this is around 1000 pixel by 1000 pixel by how much? 600 and 700 pixel or something. No, yeah. So you can see 750 or 60 pixel. That is the size of this image. You can change this into inches. Okay, if you change this into inches, just a minute. So now you'll see it as inches. It is almost 10 and 3/4 inch by what is this? It's almost 8 inch. So you can verify these things with different units. Okay, now it is from 0. It is around 27 inch, 27 centimeter. This is in 10 centimeter. This is in millimeter. So you can check the size of the image even in ruler also. There's another method which we use to check, but you can check it here also. Control R is ruler. So that went missing earlier. When I showed you, it was like this. The first thing I told you, press F, you will get back these things. You just keep pressing F where you will get the most of the things visible. You stop there. Press Control R, that is where the ruler has gone off. And what about the other things? What about the toolbox? I don't find the toolbox here. Oh my God. Nothing to worry. Go here, go to Window and click on Tools. Is that clear? Now you have come back to the previous Photoshop which you were working on. Okay, the panels will get activated only if you want them as such, or if you click this, then this whole thing will get. I don't like to keep it like this. I want to activate whatever is needed whenever needed. That's all. Okay, so these small things shouldn't be worrying you. Of course, now in this lockdown season, you'll be working at home. You might be not probably sharing your computer with anyone, so no hassles. Otherwise, if you come to the lab, work in a common computer, these things might happen. Someone would have closed it, or maybe for fun, and you'll just get excited when you see that when you open Adobe Photoshop, there's only image opening, there's nothing else seen, no menu seen, all these things. Okay, so that this I wanted to teach you yesterday. I just missed it, so I thought I'll teach you today. Okay, coming to this tool, this is called a crop tool. Now, what is cropping? Does anybody know what is cropping? Cropping is a old photographic technique where you cut the photograph, actually physically cut the photograph in such a way that you see what is the most important one, number one, or in the most beautiful way. Now, both can be called as cropping. Sometimes you cut a photograph to see what is most important one, to see it in full screen, to see what is necessary only and rest is not needed. So you cut the photograph physically. That is an old photographic term called cropping. Or you see the photograph in such a way that it looks very appealing. That is also in this case. Okay, I use C. C is the shortcut for cropping. I use C, and I'll drag this here, and okay, I'll move this, and this is also looking good. You see the most important one, these three peaks. Rest of it is not really necessary. So this is also cropping. And if you can drag like this, and you know you can adjust the level like this. Is it all right? Somewhat, yeah. Then if you press enter, you have a cropped image. This is a cropped image. This is not the same desert.jpg before. This is a cropped version of it. This is you are getting all the important things in the scene. This is one cropping. Another, okay, sometimes you do cropping for having a dynamism or something like this. You crop it like this also. Okay. So anyway, cropping is cutting a photograph. That is for sure. Okay. That is for sure. Cutting a photograph. That is also uh, that is the main definition. The purpose of you using cropping is different things. Okay. In this crop tool, if you open, there are four other cropping. I will not teach slice tool, slice select tool, because it is purely for web designing. So I am teaching you crop tool. I will teach you perspective crop also. I don't think understanding these two things are very difficult for you, since you have mobile phone. You would have taken a selfie and then you would have cropped it. Yes. And this perspective crop tool is like you have in mobile. You have the scanning software where you scan. If your picture is little skewed and it is looking distorted, you can use this perspective cropping tool, and you'll be like trying to drag it in such a way that it looks straight. I mean, this is a good one. I tried to do a perspective crop. It looked really bad. So if you have a badly scanned image, I really don't have a badly scanned image right now. I'll try some luck. Mm, this is all are trimmed and zoomed. I don't have a really any badly scanned image, so that I can show you how I can straighten it. The perspective crop is usually used to straighten something which is not scanned in the right manner. Okay. 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 Mm, mm, Nothing is there. So I don't have any badly scanned image as of now. Okay, let me try one last look. CG37. Okay, one thing I can try now is that I can go to mm, even barely. Okay, this is an, you cannot make out this. Running out of luck. That's all. Let's try with this. This is not a very good example, but then I will have to make a try. Um, so I'll make my folder as 13. Okay, so I'll save this. Okay, let me try to open this over here. File, open. Uh, okay, so I have this one. Maybe I can roughly say it is badly scanned image, and what I can do is adjust this place over here. Just this place over here. So this has a bend. It is not a scan, it is but a photograph. But I am trying to straighten as much as it is possible with this perspective tool. Okay. So what I am trying to do is I am going to give this line I am giving according to the tilt. So it is sort of straightening it. The tilt got removed slightly, and it will get dragged little bit. So there is a bend in this, so that cannot be straightened by Photoshop. But if it is a scanning mistake, you can correct it using this thing. What do you call this? Using okay. So I want to show you one more example wherein okay, one more example I can say. Supposing you have a tilted photo. I will myself make a tilted photo and show this, I think. Uh, okay, maybe one of this I'll open and say if this image is going to be like this, not in a correct order. It is tilted. Okay, you want to crop and save this image. Imagine this is a what do you say? Mm, mm, this is the image what you have, and okay, I've saved this as new tilted. I am closing all these things. Okay, so I'm trying to open this new tilted. So this image itself is like tilted. So how will you correct this? So to an extent, you can correct and save some part of the image for yourself, even though it is extremely tilted. So in crop image itself, in the option bar, you'll find something called straighten. Click on that and just drag below this line. So automatically, it will rotate itself into a parallel angle of that image. So you can choose to take what is needed from that. You can use this in most of the cases. After straightening this crop, I think I gave a gap here, and crop this. So this is a straightened image. It is straightened, there is no problem in it. So you can save some uh, images from Google, maybe which is not uh, looking all right, and it is tilted for some reason, or you have scanned it wrongly, so you have to straighten it. So you can use this crop and go for straighten. Understood? So that is the use of straighten. And perspective crop, I explained what it is. This I am not going to save. Oh, sorry, I think I saved the desert. No, thanks. So all these I'm not going to save. So that is what is the use of these two. These two are called slice tool. It's used only for web designing. You don't use it. Actually, you select like this and slice like this. All these becomes bits and pieces of images. You have to export as PNG or whatever. You try to give it in the same place. You will find bits and pieces of that image. So here you'll find that desert.png save. Oh, sorry, export. We can export this. Save for web. Yeah, this is the thing. And when you save this, you will have this. So if you find this folder, you'll find images that are cropped in the way it is sliced. In the way it is sliced. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you add one more like this, it will be sliced like that. So for some reason in web designing, you use this command, but it is not necessary for us. Okay, so I'm just closing this. I hope you understood what it is, and now I'll move on to the next tool. What is it now? For example, this is called frame tool, which is pretty much like cropping. You can create a frame for something. Say, for example, you are tired of seeing this image in this TV. I want some other image to be put inside the TV. I've opened this image. I'm trying to change the image what is there in the TV. Okay, so you can use this frame tool very easily. You can drag this frame tool and say this is the frame. Say this is the frame. And what you do, you go to file and say place. Place embedded, which means you are putting another image into the scene. And maybe you select this image. What happened? Now the picture inside the TV is changed into the picture whatever you want. This is also an important tool. Sometimes you will come to this situation that you need to change something, and that you have to be very you have to keep it fitting inside that frame. See, the actually, okay, I'll stop with this and I'll tell you something. If you open the same image and try to drag this into this, first of all, the image is big. Secondly, if you resize it, if I'm going to resize it, it has a different aspect ratio. It has a different aspect ratio. So cropping and placing it will take a lot of time. So instead of doing that, you can just use this framing tool. I'm going to delete this, which is far easier to throw it inside. I'll show it again. Frame, and I'm just deleting that. I'm going to layer and just delete the whole thing. So how you do it? Wherever you want the frame of the picture, you draw the frame. Simple. Point number one. Point number one is this. You should be little careful. Okay. Point number two, go to file and place embedded. You can choose many picture, not only this, probably this. So that is gone there. Now, in case you feel no, I want to move this little what do you say, penguin's head is slightly not in place. Sorry, file, place embedded. Okay, keep the penguin inside and okay, move the double click and move the head of the penguin little down so that it fits the TV. You can't have this like this. That's going to be funny. So you just move it down. See, when I move, you can see the previous background over there. That doesn't matter. Move it and position it in such a way that it looks beautiful for the TV or for your scene. That's all. So that is about frame. You will be needing this in your projects. You will be needing this in your projects. It's easy to position things and place it according to the space available. Maybe you would have covered this whole area. Over here you will have some image, you will have some area you have left alone. You want to push something easily, you will struggle cropping it and bringing it down. Don't do all that. Use frame and just move it around and place it correctly. Okay, you got it. Okay, so that is one thing which I wanted to teach you today. So I taught you, though I didn't said I won't teach you slice, but still I taught you. Okay, all the croppings, all the crop. See, one thing you have to remember in Photoshop, you should also know the sub option icons. In the sense, this is main cropping tool, then you have perspective crop, you have slice tool, you have slice select. All these things are there. All they're all having different icons. Sometimes you would have done your job with this tool and you shouldn't start searching for the crop icon all the day. Hey, I can't see the crop icon because I don't see it. You won't see it because it is a part of this group. Sometimes this will be active, sometimes this will be active, sometimes this will be active, sometimes this will be active. So this thing you have to remember, that is very much necessary. Now I don't see magic wand. Why? Because quick selection is kept here. Magic wand is here. So it's better you remember the shortcut. This is why I say remember shortcut. Shift, when you press C, it will go to crop. If you press shift and click on C, it will change all the sub options available. Same with mark U M, it will go to mark U, shift M, it will change the sub options available. Isn't it? L for lasso, shift L, it will show you all the sub options available. Shift L, shift L, shift L, shift L, like this. W for magic wand, shift W, quick selection, shift W, magic wand, shift W. So toggle options is shift U, press shift with the shortcut, and C. Okay, see here, which is for crop, shift C, shift C, shift C, you get the crop. Okay, of course frame doesn't have any this thing, no other sub options in frame. So frame tool is K. So K is the thing for frame tool, nothing else is there. So this is how you remember things. You have to have a little bit of visual memory, or you will have to use your the other plane memory, which you will remember the shortcuts and try checking them one by one. This way you can learn. If they are going to make 2022 Adobe Photoshop CC 2022, the shortcuts will remain the same. These shortcuts I am using from I don't know, 95 itself I know Photoshop. From then you have almost the same software. Shortcuts, there's nothing much has changed, I believe. No, 1995, yeah. From then on, I know Photoshop. It never had some major options like layers and all that. It was an headache. Slowly, all these options, one by in every option, I told you in every version they added one more option, and that is what you see today. But majority of them, majority of the options what we have today is still there. Maybe if, till today they would have added some 7 8 options from the original. That's all. Okay, so we'll go to the next one. I is for, what is the shortcut for frame? K. I for eyedropper tool. I is for eyedropper tool. Okay, I is for eyedropper tool. So what is eyedropper tool? Okay, yesterday I told you something about selection. Yeah, mark Q, Shift M. I want a rectangular selection. Okay, so I want to add a layer, and I want to show something here. Okay, but whatever I am showing here, I need the same color as this dark fellow, or I need the same color as what is here, slightly reddish brown. So usually you tend to go here and change the color and try to adjust, and okay, and you can use this. mm, there is this paint bucket. You can use this paint bucket and fill this. So this is how it looks. Okay, this is manual way of filling a color. How? Use paint bucket, you select a color, use paint bucket and fill. Okay, by the way, for paint bucket the shortcut key is G. So in the same menu there is another material drop, which it is not going to be taught, but then there is one more thing called gradient tool is going to be taught. So shift G, shift G. So three commands are there. You have to remember the three icons or use the shift key, shift and press the shortcut. Okay, so this is how you paint the or fill the color in some area. You got the point? So now I am not very sure whether this orange is this orange, and I'm kind of feeling that the orange which I filled, after filling I find that it is not anywhere nearer this. So how will you pick the correct color? Press I for eyedropper, which I just told you. Go here and click. Once you click, that color will become your foreground color. Then use G for fill and click here. So that is the how you pick a certain color over here. So I'm just showing you. I'm not going to. Okay, if I want this color, press I, click, G, click. So the color is what I got. When you press I'll show you about the options. Sample size. So it selects in an area of 3 pixel by 3 pixel. So you can increase this sample size up to point sample, means just that, just what you're clicking. If I'm clicking at point sample, it will become red, deep red. See, if I click this fellow's head, it's going to be a kind of beige color. Okay, if I click here, this is point sample, yellow. If I click here, a lighter yellow, because this is a point sample. Okay, now if it is average of 3 inch by 3 pixel by 3 pixel, if I click here and if I move little bit and click here, it doesn't make a difference because it is an average size of 3 pixel by 3 pixel. If the size becomes bigger, the average is going to be it is going to take an average of the colors among this. So if I click here, it see the color has little bit of gray, It has little bit of yellow, little bit of white also. This is the difference in the options available. Point sample, to be very precise and exact, 3 by 3 average, a little bigger average, 5 by 5 average, 101 by 101 average is a very big average. I click here, it has blue because in 100 pixel this blue also is included. It has gray, it is slight yellow somewhere there. Okay, and this is how you get an average color. This is by some way it is useful to get a background or create a foreground. Sometimes you need an average color, that is why they have given this. Okay, so I'm going to, I've got it and I'm trying to fill an average color there. Okay, how do you fill? G is for filling, and click here, filled it. I think you got it. Filling also I have taught you because I need to show what to fill without this, without teaching fill and foreground color. I cannot teach you ink, uh, ink picker or eyedropper tool. I earlier I think it was called ink picker. Now the name is changed into eyedropper, ink picker or eyedropper. Okay, so that is about that. So I will delete this. Okay, so okay, now till here I have taught you. See, I may not teach everything in a row. Okay, so if you notice, I taught you this, then I taught you this, then I taught you this, then I taught you this, I taught you this, I taught you this, I taught you this, and okay, Control D, I'm removing this. I taught you. Okay, now I want to teach you this. I want to skip this because I'll come to that in the next class, because this and this are all similar. You got it? Those three are similar. I can teach even this with that. I can teach this with that. So these are all image manipulation. This, this, I'm sorry, this and this and this can be called as image manipulation. So far we are talking about image editing. In image manipulation is in a next level, but I don't know why they placed in between this. They didn't group in the same way as it should be. Is my personal opinion. I have no comment about the people who have designed software. That's such a beautiful software, but at least for teaching purpose I feel like teaching this way, all image editing together and image manipulation separate. Image manipulation is little bigger a topic, so I will teach that separately. Okay, now I have come to eyedropper and I'm just skipping this spot healing, and I'm going to uh, uh, the next one. Okay, so here I'm coming to brush tool, a simple brush tool. What is the uses? So I'm adding on one more layer. Okay, and I'm using this. These are all things just to show. Okay, I have an idea. I have an idea. Select this background, it is a glazed, or rather I'll use a, forget it, I'll use a magic wand. Magic wand, I'll try to select. Go to click on background, select this. Oh, white is everywhere, so that is the reason it is getting selected everywhere. So don't want, I'm going to select this by using a simple selection tool, and I don't want the TV in the bargain. I want to press Alt and I want to remove the TV area from the scene. So this background is selected, which is for the TV. There are some adjustment which I have to do. I use polygonal lasso and I'll press shift and add. Alt is for remove, shift is for add. So I'm adding this much area in that. Okay, but then I noticed that these dolls are becoming a problem. I want to remove that. Oh, sorry. What should I do? I should add this area into this selection. This area, this selection. Okay, done something, not in a greater this thing. So I'm going to select magic wand, press Alt, and I'm going to. Okay, so that's not working. Some situations like this, you will have to use lasso tool. Things doesn't work fine with anything. You will have to simply pick up lasso tool and use it for your benefit. No other way you can escape, or polygonal tool, manual tools which you can use. So I removed that area. You understood what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to remove that dolls from the background which I want to change the color. My idea is to change the color of that background, white background, and how I am going, or I am going to give a different pattern for that. Okay, now if suppose, okay, I have rendered this image, I've done it for my client, and if suppose, or if my senior architect says this white, this is a very imaginary situation, he may not probably say, but then if he says that this white color is not going really well, you try some other color. I have to actually go to 3D Max, the software which I rendered this. I have to change this color and render it and see, and it will take a painful one, at least a half an hour to 45 minutes to change this small thing in 3D Max, because you have to change the color and see. So, but I want to get the approval immediately from the client, I mean from my architect, and get my money out from him. That's all. So in that situation, I will not go to 3D Max. What I'll do is I will go to image, adjustment, hue saturation. Please remember, image adjustment, hue saturation. You can always use Ctrl U for the same shortcut. Image adjust hue saturation. You come here, you click on Colourize and try all sort of colors. Got what I meant? So you'll have the reflection in place. You don't change anything. You don't paint this place or do anything, but you try to get the uh, many colors as possible. Lighter, darker, okay, brighter, darker. See, it is for though all these looks horrible. Uh, I have a choice of options. This is what I am trying to say. Control U, colorize, hue saturation. You can adjust the saturation level, keep it higher, and try to get some color combination out of it. Control Z. I'm not going to keep all these things. Or you want this to be brighter, go to image adjustments, brightness, increase the brightness. Okay, so you still see the reflections that is on white, but it is going to be a brighter white. Okay, this may be a case it will look better. Okay, so you don't it doesn't look the way that you have gone to 3D Max and made it looks as though you have gone to 3D Max and made these changes. So that way it helps you to save time. Mm, uh, Saving time, saving money. Okay, so you can do some quick options like this. Okay, now let me go to Windows history and go back to that same place where I came from. The other option which I wanted to teach you now is brush tool. What is brush tool? Brush tool. I will show what is brush tool. I'm just closing this history. Now, here are the list of brushes that are available in Photoshop. You can add more. There's no problem. You can add more. So I'm going to, in a new layer, I'm going to take a very unconventional brush, or you can use the same soft brown brush, round brush, soft brush meaning the edges are soft. Okay, so you have to increase the opacity a little bit. Flow I have to increase. So I'm going to paint like this, something like this. So this might look like a designer laminate or something. So that is also possible. Okay, airbrush. The brush tool helps you to, for what? It helps you to, I'm going to history. It helps you to brush as though you use a brush only, airbrush or something. You can use it for painting something. You can use pencil tool also. You can draw something like this. You can right click and reduce the size and make it really small. Okay, you can scratch something and make it. Okay, this is right click, size. You can increase the hardness. So okay, so increase the opacity. It will become darker. It will become harder, darker, and whatnot. Okay, so all these options are possible. Even in brush, you can increase the hardness 100%, and you can increase the opacity and flow 100%. So you can draw like this. So these are the options available. Now I'll teach color replacement and mixer brush. In another mixer brush is very similar to the term only. You can mix that brushing and this brushing. So that is mixer brush. Color replacement I'll teach you. And these are the other brushes available. Brush, you have pencil, you have mixer brush, and you have the color replacement tool. Color replacement tool. Mm, so I have sampled. So I have sampled some area and I'm coloring that area only. Can you see it is taking up a particular color and giving a replace color. So that is about color replacement tool. Okay, not really used. People use brushes, pencil, mixing brush, mixed brush tools, dragging something about the existing brush and mixing it, blending, kind of a blending. You see, done that here. So you can find that blending really happens over here with mixer brush tool. See, you can trying to blend this one and this one. In bright colors, it will be this is gray already, and so it doesn't really look good. So with bright colors, you will find the difference with mixer brush tool. Okay, okay. So these are the options that I am going to teach you today. I'm ending my class today with this color replacement, and um, uh, I'm done with image modification. So what next is image manipulation, image editing, something like image editing. It have modification and manipulation. Manipulation is a next level which I have to do. Apart from that, I will be teaching two important tools. One is shape tool, and another one is pen tool, which is slightly important for architect students to create shape, define them, reuse the same shape in a sheet, so that you don't have to draw it every time. So all those things I am going to teach you uh, for for our syllabus. And I think I'll end the class with this. So I'm very sure this doesn't look good, so I'll come back to uh, you know my original image. I just went back to history and clicked on the top, so it has saved it till there. And I mean, it has removed all the changes which I have given in history. And not going to save this, just keep it like that. Okay, so with that I end the class today, and I'll come back for more tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.